They didn't yell, they didn't insult you, and yet you feel shut down. You said something real. They asked one question, just one. And suddenly, you weren't even sure what you were trying to say. It wasn't an attack. It wasn't cruelty. It was surgical logic. It was defense, disguised as thought. So is it coldness or extreme precision? Is it logic or unconscious manipulation? Welcome to the INTP in shadow, where connection breaks, not out of hatred, but in the name of internal coherence. You speak from the heart, you share something vulnerable. They listen, silently, then they reply. Just one sentence, precise, cold, unshakable. What's the objective foundation of that emotion? There's no sarcasm, no rage, just a collapse. At that moment, their dominant function, introverted thinking, is speaking. It's pure internal logic, like a mental scalpel, cutting anything that doesn't serve clarity, even your feelings. But it's not about hurting you. It's because, to them, your emotion doesn't fit the model. Logic is their native language, emotion, a foreign dialect. You're in a discussion, you have a clear point. It makes sense. It's structured. But the INTP shifts. A new hypothesis, a paradox, a redefinition, then another abstraction. You respond, but they're already somewhere else. The conversation fragments. And you start to feel lost. It's like trying to navigate a moving maze. Every time you find the way out, the walls shift again. And you wonder, why are they making this so hard to follow? Here's the truth. When the INTP feels pressured, emotionally, socially, or intellectually, the present moment becomes too uncomfortable, too overwhelming. They don't handle direct reality well. And that's when the trickster comes in. This is extroverted sensing in its shadow form, SE Trickster. It disrupts the now. It replaces presence with abstraction. It shifts from topic to topic, adds complexity, jumps logic levels. Not to win, but to avoid the discomfort of being mentally pinned down. They don't want to dominate the conversation. They want to escape it. Inside, it sounds like this. This moment feels dangerous. Let me out. Let me think my way out. And so, they create exit after exit, concept after concept, until the conversation dissolves. Imagine the INTP throwing a dense fog of logic into a sealed room. You're trying to see them, but they don't want to be seen. They're not confusing you to trap you. They're confusing you to protect themselves. You say something heartfelt, personal, honest. They pause, then calmly ask, "What exactly is a personal value? And on what basis do you define its validity?" No sarcasm, no cruelty, just emptiness, stillness, precision. You feel the emotional air leave the room. That's not logic. That's FI demon, the INTP's deepest shadow. You see, the INTP does want connection. They have extroverted feeling as their inferior function. But when emotions intensify, the system misfires. It sees feeling as chaos, something unpredictable, something that threatens internal structure. So the demon takes over, and FI doesn't feel. It dissects. It invalidates. If an emotion isn't logical, it becomes irrelevant. And if it's irrelevant, it doesn't exist. They're not belittling your feelings. They're desperately trying to keep their world from unraveling. But in doing so, they might make yours disappear. The INTP doesn't lash out when destabilized. They pull back. Their mind doesn't fight with fire. It responds with a firewall. Internally, they are trying to preserve clarity at all costs, and when clarity feels threatened, the shadow steps in. The trickster, SE, destroys presence, and the demon, FI, destroys meaning. One removes the ground under your feet. The other erases the value from your words. It's not evil. It's not strategy. It's survival. The INTP in shadow isn't trying to hurt you. They're trying to hold themselves together. When the world feels too incoherent, too immediate, too emotional, they go back to what feels safe: internal logic. But when logic becomes armor, it also becomes a blade. So no, they're not trying to win. They're trying not to break. And in protecting themselves, they might cut everything around them. Next time we meet the ENTP, explosive, charismatic, unpredictable. When they fall into shadow, ideas turn into weapons, charm becomes deflection, and logic bends just enough to win. From the cold silence of the INTP to the chaotic storm of the ENTP, we'll explore what happens when debate becomes misdirection. Have you ever felt disoriented by an INTP in shadow? Or maybe you're the one who pulls back when emotions feel like noise in the system? What hit hardest? The precision, the confusion, the emotional freeze? Tell us in the comments. Subscribe for the next deep dive. And share this with someone who needs to understand. Sometimes the silence isn't distance. It's defense. And the coldest logic comes from the most fragile core. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.